50% of China's energy sources are now from renewable energy. So while everybody has been talking about us needing to move to renewable, cleaner energy, China has been implementing, and therefore half of your energy sources are now coming from clean energy. Of course, we did see China start growing its renewable energy equipment businesses and technology. And I didn't realize that this was already being implemented in the country. It's very visible as well on the roads because the electric vehicles are very visible. Any parking lot that a person goes to has got charging stations. So this is very pleasing. Very excited about the relationship that South Africa has built with China. Of course, it's a historical relationship, with the African National Congress having received very strong, very meaningful, very tangible support from the People's Republic of China, even before we got our freedom in 1994. Since 1994, we've seen the relationship move beyond the political relationship into an economic relationship. And this happened, at a time when the Chinese economy was experiencing phenomenal growth. This then put tailwinds into South Africa's economy. We have a number of companies that are invested in the South African economy. The Industrial Development Corporation, which is the business that I am chairman of, has a number of partners that have invested in mining, be it copper, manganese, and other mining businesses. We continue to investigate other opportunities with Chinese partners. We partnered with Beijing Automotive Industries Corporation to set up an automobile manufacturing plant in one of our cities along the coast. So it's a port city. And this was the first new automotive manufacturing plant that the country saw in almost 50 years. So this is the strength of the relationship that we have with China. More exciting for me, though, for the future, is that we have skills exchanges, we have people-to-people interactions. The reason I'm excited about the skills exchanges is because we've seen China move up the curve very quickly along the technology platforms. In some of the segments, China already leads the world, whether we accept it or not. And the fact that South Africa has first-hand access, especially for our young people, to exchanges. They're able to come and be based in plants that are in China and learn these technologies. I have a friend at the moment who is busy setting up an incubation business in South Africa, where he has Chinese companies donating equipment, automation equipment, the kind of technology, industrial technology, to his incubation. And he then brings in young people to train them on that equipment. And this is so important because South Africa at the moment has over 30% unemployment rate, with youth unemployment being estimated at over 50%. The exchange of skills, I believe, is going to spur our young people to even venture into starting their own businesses. Technology is so powerful because in so many ways, it enables people to work differently. So they may no longer have to go to the factory floor. They may be able to do their own products and own productions, own services using that technology from wherever they are based. So the energy opportunity is actually across the African continent. It's not just a South Africa opportunity. The South Africa opportunity is more in our face because South Africa used to have sufficient supply for its demand. Now we have less supply than the demand that we have in the country. In 2013, actually, South Africa launched a renewable energy independent power producer procurement program, which attracted quite a number of players. The intention was that these renewable energy companies would bring in their technology, bring in their expertise, bring in their investment into the country. A lot of those plants are now up and running and helping relieve the supply deficiencies in the country. Since 2013, China has now developed so fast in that space, and we continue to have shortages in the country. So I expect that, in fact, I know that there was a roadshow by our Minister of Electricity last year in China to come and discuss and offer opportunities for Chinese companies to come and implement solutions that will address our energy shortage in South Africa. And I expect that to be happening. The more exciting opportunity is also in the grid, because our electricity grid is constrained at the moment. And of course, we do need to move up the curve and get a smart grid. China is known for its robust long-distance transmission lines. I expect that we will be seeing Chinese companies and Chinese players coming to help us implement solutions. I've just talked about South Africa. The rest of the African continent is where the real bigger opportunity lies. There's a hydro opportunity. China has already got solutions in that space, I believe, and other countries, of course. But I believe that we are well ready, all of us, to start seeing the implementation of energy solutions, especially on the renewable side. We should not ignore gas as a potential opportunity going forward. So I think all the energy sources are going to be on the table, and we will have the opportunity to chart a path that is best suited for South Africa or for the other African countries, because also China takes a multilateral approach. China won't come and impose its own solutions and say, this is how we did it. We therefore think you should do it the same way. So I expect that we'll see a lot of collaboration in the near future in addressing our energy shortages as well. The significance so far for me has been, first of all, meeting each other face-to-face, conversations that are face-to-face, completely different than the conversations that we have online, because all of a sudden we're able to read each other's body language and we are able to recognize each other's humanity. So I really have appreciated that opportunity. Secondly, I found that most of the people that have presented have been so optimistic about the prospects of the future of the world. The theme for this Davos meeting is, of course, makes sense because our economies were hit by the COVID pandemic and we are now in recovery mode. I'm excited that the World Economic Forum is not just saying global recovery, what is happening with global recovery, but they're now talking about the new frontiers, which is where are the new opportunities. Technology is an important frontier. I think clean energy and addressing climate impact is a new frontier that everybody is talking about. And then lastly, the future is actually in the hands of the young people. Many advanced economies are having aging populations, but people are aging, I think, much better than one used to see in the past. So they have much longer lifespan. But this opens up an opportunity for the youth, and large economies such as China and the African continent have got relatively young populations, and the leaders were saying young people need to be reminded that the opportunity is actually more exciting ahead than it has ever been. And I think that's a very, very positive note for us to be meeting on. So uncertainties seem to me cyclical, not structural. And in terms of the structural soundness of the Chinese economy, I have no doubt that it is structurally sound, well planned. The policy environment is sound and very attractive. You are seeing investors, you're seeing business people wanting to move into the Chinese market, but also very healthy part of the equation is that Chinese business people are looking to diversify their own portfolios and go and invest in other geographies. So the uncertainty that we're seeing is honestly a blip that is going to move. And let me remind you, the size of the Chinese economy is 126 trillion RMB. That is huge. That's a huge size of economy. So if an economy of that size can grow at 4 or 5%, that is a lot of value that is added into the global economy in 1 year. And we, of course, then look and say it's no longer 6%, it's no longer 7%. And we therefore think that is uncertainty. From my perspective, and having come from an economy that would do anything to get 4% growth, I think this economy is poised for absolute greatness. I hope and pray that the African economies, where we now have the large percentage of young people, will start catching up with these growth rates. I am looking forward, actually, to us integrating the continent through the African Continental Free Trade Area so that we can start catalyzing the kind of growth rates that we've seen in China. It's exciting on a number of fronts because, first of all, this is a beautiful, very diverse country. Each time I visit a different city, there is different flavors, there's different things to see. So I think the world will be enriched by exposure to the culture of China. I think opening up the economy gives an opportunity for young people. South African companies, we have now, I'm aware of 16 large South African companies that already have operations in the Chinese market. So South African companies have already been here for a while, but more are also going to come because of the size of this economy. If any business can make it in this economy, then they are set for life.